Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
Welcome, everybody, to Wager Talk Today. I am Lawrence Presman. He is Teddy Covers, and we've got, Marco D'Angelo up first. Then Bryan Leonard, and Art DiCesare. Marco is going to talk about Atlanta and Milwaukee, St. Louis, and the New York Mets. Bryan's going to come in here and discuss the Rockies, the Diamondbacks. Art's going to talk about a bunch of exciting, fun stuff. Teddy's big game breakdown, the daily presidential address. Teddy, let's start with how your weekend was. Yeah, Stan Lynch. We're going to put Stan Lynch's comment up now. We'll get to the Leafs. Teddy, how was your weekend, bro?
My weekend was pretty crappy, to be honest. I'm sure it wasn't as bad as yours because I didn't have a team I was rooting for that crashed and burned yet again. But we'll talk about the Leafs soon enough. It sucks to be a fan. Doesn't matter what sport, what team. Alabama fans are mad every year the team doesn't win the national title. Doesn't matter how many titles you win. Patriots fans are mad every year, let alone Leafs fans. We'll hear about that in a minute. But we saw two superstars lose in blowout game sevens yesterday in the NBA. Only one is a defining legacy moment. Giannis already has a title. He was missing his number 2, and he had a great series. No legacy-defining loss for Giannis and the Bucks yesterday. The Celtics were simply the better of the two teams. When we talk about Chris Paul, however, this is one that is absolutely a legacy-defining moment. 5 times now in his NBA career, Chris Paul has lost a series where his team had a 2-0 lead. Game 7 failures. How about 0-4 the last 4 tries after a 3-1 start to his career? So he's lost 4 different game 7s. He's lost 5 different times when his team had a 2-0 lead. And of course, it was DeAndre Ayton who got pulled early. He's not signed. This is a franchise-changing loss for the Suns, potentially, and a legacy-defining loss for Chris Paul. You want to do commercials, be the State Farm guy, and be the household name? You better show up for game 7s or you get tarnished. And then, of course, the Suns so badly blown out by halftime. The second half was a complete quit job. No defense, no nothing. Every under better knows what I'm talking about. That was brutal. If you had the under yesterday, and yes, I did, Prez. That's on Chris Paul, too. Yet another failure for the Suns' superstar. Devin Booker's their superstar, FYI. What'd you learn, Prez? Talk about Toronto.
Yeah, so listen, I just want everybody to know that I'm okay. And I had a great night Saturday night, Teddy. I mean, they lost. I was miserable for about 20 minutes. And then I went to a bar, saw a Grateful Dead cover band that were exceptional. Watched a guy faint in front of me on a mushroom trip. Came home, got some action. So, yeah, I mean, life goes on, man. Like, when you say it sucks being a fan, I'm not with you, bro. I love the drama. I live for the drama. I enjoy the anxiety of knowing we're going to lose. But I just want to say something about the Leafs. Because, listen, I got to listen to Marco and Sherapan and Carmine and all of these people, Carm especially. Carm spends half the day talking about how bad the Leafs are, and he's a Buffalo Sabres fan. I mean, the irony is mind-blowing. But here's how I look at this thing. Yeah, 6 game 7s in a row we have lost. It defies logic. It's hard to comprehend. But I don't care about the one last year or the one the year before, that's way in the past. As far as this year goes, Toronto was the third best team in hockey in their conference. Tampa Bay was the fourth best team in their conference. That's a semifinal matchup that happened to have happened in the first round. It's not Tampa Bay's fault that they had to play the third best team in the first round. It's not the Leafs' fault they had to play the world champs, 2 Stanley Cups in a row, and the fourth best team in their conference in the first round. We saw 2 gladiators get on the ice. What did the Leafs look like to me? A team that's about to win the Stanley Cup. Not this year, but this is a team that came back from 2 deficits of 2-0. They were down 2-0 twice. They showed a whole lot of moxie. They dominated Game 7, and they just couldn't score. It happens. I'm okay with it. Last year, I was not okay with it. Last year was inexcusable BS. But this year, you had 2 Titans play against each other in the first round, and only one can go through. The Leafs, as far as I'm concerned, the Leafs played their heart out. They played great. They tried their best. We move on. Go ahead, Teddy.
So you're telling me that the Leafs can't beat the 4th best team in the East, but they're on the verge. Oh, they're almost there.
Yeah.
There you say they can't beat the 4th best team in the conference in the first round, but they're almost there.
Teddy, this is the 4th best.
Enjoy your fanhood, buddy. Enjoy. Shush. Okay. Enough with the yip.
Dude, I'm good. I'm wearing blue today. I'm wearing blue today, baby. I'm proud.
It doesn't matter what team, what sport you're a fan of. Being a fan sucks. Being a bettor is 100 times better because you get to pick and choose who you want to root for that night.
I love being a fan. I'm totally. Listen. Let's bring Marco in. Marco, you want to take shots at me? Bring him on, brother. Bring him on. This is ready. Go ahead in your pink shirt. Bring him on. Come on. Are you going to tell me that the Leafs didn't do well in that first round? Sure, they lost, okay? You know how many teams have won the Stanley Cup twice in a row? It hasn't. It happened in 16 and 17, and before that, it was years and years and years. They literally played one of the best hockey teams ever assembled, took them to Game 7 in a game they dominated.
The 4th best team in the East is one of the best hockey teams ever assembled.
During the regular. Shut up, Teddy. Shut up.
Hey, Prez, I'm actually defending you today. Carmine, our buddy, he was relentless all weekend. And the guy was on vacation. He's supposed to be enjoying his wife's birthday and vacation, and yet he found every waking moment to poke fun at you. That's just wrong, Carmine. But, hey, the Penguins, I got a lot of tweets yesterday at me. The Penguins lost another, first-round playoff series. And, it's true. They haven't won a first-round playoff since they got rid of Marc-Andre Fleury. Of course, he didn't do well either in his first round with Minnesota, but that's another story. But watching the Penguins game yesterday for me, Prez, it was a Game 7. A couple people tweeted at me before the game, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to watch the game. If the Penguins win, I'll be happy as a fan. If the Rangers win, I'm going to be happy because I bet for me and my clients I had the Rangers for the series. So, as much as I'm a fan, you got to bet with your head, not your heart. And I went into that series thinking the Penguins couldn't win with a second string goalie. Lo and behold, in the second overtime of the first game, we had the third string goalie in there until last night. They brought Jari back. He made his appearance for the 7th game. And although he played well, you got to be rusty being out as long as he was and being thrown into a 7th game. And we lost Sidney Crosby in Game 6. So he did play yesterday. So it is what it is. I actually feel lucky to have cashed my Rangers ticket.
Listen, Marco, just for the record, the reason Carm spends most of his time bad-mouthing the Leafs and trying to make fun of me for being a Leaf fan is because he has a lot of time. The Buffalo Sabres didn't even play in the regular season, I don't think. They've probably been out since January, give or take. He's literally been writing jokes since like January, where his team didn't do anything, and he wants to use them.
Because he knew
dude, a man who
January that the Leafs
Teddy, I don't want to hear you.
Get bounced in the first
I don't
round.
want to hear from Teddy. Joe, please do something about Teddy. Anyway, Marco, there you go. I'm sorry about your Pittsburgh Penguins. At least they've won 3 Stanley Cups in the last 15 years or so. It does suck about the Leafs, but this is not the same Leaf loss as before, period. Anyway, Atlanta and Milwaukee, brother. The Braves, the Brewers. Atlanta, small dog. Who's winning this game?
Well, I'm going to be taking Atlanta in this game tonight, guys, and this is one of my spots where I love the scheduling spot. Let's start with Milwaukee returning home. Now, obviously, this is, a big series. You're facing the defending champs, so Milwaukee's going to be up for it, but they're coming off a 9-game road trip and no travel day. Play on Sunday, come right back, play Monday. That's a spot that I like to fade the home team. Then let's look at what Milwaukee's been doing. Last 8 games, they're just 3-5. Not a disaster. But what does concern me is 4 of those 8 games, they've had bad pitching performances. They've allowed 9 runs or more in 4 of the 8 games. That's not Milwaukee Brewer baseball. This is a team that is not built to score a lot of runs, but they've got the pitching staff that's supposed to get it done. On the mound tonight is Freddie Peralta. He has pitched well in his last 3 games. ERA 2.16, solid whip 0.90. However, those 3 starts came against Cincinnati twice and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Those are light-hitting squads and 2 of the worst teams in baseball. So I think his recent dominance might be a little bit of a smokescreen. You go before that, he really wasn't pitching that good. I'm going to go ahead and take my shot here with Atlanta. They're going to put Ian Anderson on the mound tonight. He's had 5 straight starts in which he's allowed 3 runs or less. 4 of the 5 has been 2 runs or less. I'm going to go ahead, take them tonight, and here's 2 stats on Atlanta. They are 31-13. Following a loss by 4 runs or more over the last 3 seasons. And when Ian Anderson's on the mound, and we've got a total between 7 and 8.5, like we do tonight, we're seeing 8s and a couple 7.5s. Anderson, his team is 17-5 in those starts. I'm going to go ahead and take Atlanta as a small dog tonight.
So the Braves have only 2 wins in their last 5 games. Both came against in bullpen meltdown situations. I'll just put it that way. They scored 4 in the one game in the 8th and walked off with 2 in the 9th in the other. That's their only wins in their last 5 games. Atlanta, they're not bottom 5 profitability. I think they're bottom. Yeah, there's 6 from the bottom in profitability in MLB this season. The Braves aren't any good, and Milwaukee's bullpen isn't likely to be giving up runs in bunches in late game situations with Hader available this evening. Does any of that concern you for tonight in this modest price range for the Braves?
Well, go to the first thing addressing, Atlanta being at the bottom in, net profit for the season. That doesn't surprise me with the, defending world champs, whether you want to call it World Series hangover, overpriced to start the season in some of the games, adds, the losses, maybe you're laying more than you should be. But yes, they're not playing great baseball. But look at who they've played. If I told you the lineups, they played Milwaukee 3 games at home. They played the Padres. Those are 2 teams that everybody expects to be in the playoffs. In between that, they had Boston for 2 games. So yes, they're not playing good baseball at the moment, but Milwaukee isn't either. So that kind of negates it. And with the scheduling spot, we're there. If you want to go a little bit, I agree with you about the bullpen situation. And this one could be a candidate. If you wanted to split your wager, go first 5 innings and full game, half a unit each way. I would have no problem with that either, Teddy. But I just think that Peralta's going to get hit tonight. I don't think Big Freddie's going to get the job done against these Atlanta bats. I think they're going to score some runs, and they have been scoring runs, at least in the game. They are losing games, but this is a team that's scoring 5, 6, 4, 5, 9 runs. They are getting some offense generated, and I think Ian Anderson will get the job done.
Marco D'Angelo joining us, everyone, co-founder of WagerTalk.com. And a Pittsburgh fan. Marco, St. Louis at the New York Mets. Mets are minus 115 to minus 120. How do we bet this game, my friend?
Yeah, this is another one where I'm going to be doing a situational play. If you look at starting pitchers in this game, it looks like a huge edge for St. Louis. I'm not going to sit here and try to argue that fact. Miles Mikolas has been just phenomenal so far with his starts. Last 3 starts has given up 1 and 2 runs. He's been solid all year, got an ERA in 7 starts of 1.49, whip under 1. That's all you can ask of from a pitcher. Now, with that said, we talked about this earlier in the season on the show on one of the Mondays, where we talk about these road teams that played Sunday night baseball and then go on the road the next day. St. Louis, not only did they play last night, what a game. You want to talk about a laugher. It was 11-0 St. Louis in the middle innings. Then it was 15-2 going to the 9th inning. They had such a big lead, and they needed to have a pitcher in the 9th inning. They didn't even want to, they had such a lead, they didn't want to burn a pitcher out of the bullpen. They brought Pujols in to pitch in the 9th inning. I mean, you talk about if there's ever a team coming off a win, a laugh, or whatever last night that you want to say is a candidate for the old fat and sassy today, it would be St. Louis off of that game last night. So because of the situational spot, I am going to take a flyer here with the New York Mets at home tonight at a small price. And I have a league-wide angle for you involving St. Louis that they fit into. If the last 5 years, if you had played against road teams after a game where they had 17 or more hits and their starting pitcher going tonight has given up 2 earned runs or less in back-to-back starts, just auto fade, 34-13 last 5 years in Major League Baseball. That would be, here's a team that's coming in fat and sassy, overconfident. You got a hot pitcher and you're coming off, a game in which you did very well. It sets up to go against them, and that's what I'm going to do tonight.
And Pujols, of course, finished that game with an ERA of 36.
Could you hit him, Teddy?
They give up 4 earned runs.
No
in that
freaking
inning.
chance, man.
But here's my question, Marco. Mets are 14-2 their last 16 tries off a loss. All right, they've obviously been really good in this role. But they just lost their first series of the year. Is this a Mets team that's primed to come back to earth after a really hot start? And do you worry about residual value betting on the Mets right now, a team that's been pretty hot in the betting marketplace in early season play?
Oh, there's no question they've played above what expectations have been. I mean, everybody thought the Mets would be improved this year, but not to the extent that we saw out of the gate. But, Teddy, off of one series, I can't push the panic button yet. I mean, they lost all those. Every game was a 1-run loss. I mean, they were in those games. So it's not like all of a sudden the pitching went south, the hitting went south, and they're, in a slump. They're playing competitive games. They lost a 2-1 game, I think the first game of the series. So let's see what happens in this series. They're playing another, good ball club that's playing well. Let's see how they do here in this one. And they have, like I said, a huge scheduling advantage for the first game of this series. And this is, when you're looking at winning series, you want to grab that first one. So let's see what they do here. If they put together another losing series, then yes, I might be on that train with you.
Marco D'Angelo, guys, it's $9 Mondays over at WagerTalk.com. Any play that the handicapper puts up is $9. I happen to have an NHL play for tomorrow up. It's only $9. What do you have up, Marco D'Angelo?
I have up my baseball package. It's an all-access package today. And the reason for that, Prez, is I made it all-access because one of the plays in the package I just gave to you on the show, and that is the Atlanta Braves play. So I said, I can't sell one play for $9 when I gave it away for free, so I'll just bundle everything for today.
Wow, aren't you the sweetest? Guys, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do so. You'll get notifications on when all the shows are coming up. We have new shows starting all the time. Rock solid content all day long. Subscribe to our channel. Also hit that like button. Comment, make more comments. Send out Twitters that upset Carmine and Teddy. All good stuff. Teddy covers, get ready. Your big game breakdown right after the break.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.
It is time for today's big game breakdown, and let's go to Tampa Bay and look at the Rays and the Tigers Monday Night Baseball. Right now, a lot of line variance on this game. You can find Tampa, let's call it minus $2 for the Rays. Detroit plus 175 on the takeback. First five line a little bit lower than that. Tampa minus 190. Detroit in the plus 165 range. And I like the Tigers both first five and full game. Look, this is a team that started 9-24 last year and then made money for their backers the rest of the way. Finished with a winning record the rest of the way. What did Detroit do this year? Same manager, same basic squad, a year more experience, 9-23 start this year. And then they just swept the Orioles over the weekend. All right, and I know it's not that big a deal. It's Baltimore. But the big deal is that the bats that have been ice cold all year finally came to life. A.J. Hinch, quote, "Our guys are good hitters. We haven't done well in the first month, but these guys have a track record and guys can hit. It probably helps that it's 80 degrees. Well, it's going to be warm at the Trop today as well against Corey Kluber and the Rays. This is a Rays team that's already used 25 different pitchers this season. Kluber, yeah, he's got 2 Cy Young awards, but he's also 1-2 with an ERA over 4.50. He's got 2 awful starts this year, including last time out. Couldn't do 3 innings of work against L.A. They got no hit in that game, but they got no hit in part because they were down 8-0 after 3. Kluber got rocked, 8 runs, 11 hits. His pitch counts from day one have been way high. The strikeout rate is the lowest of his career. The Tigers have seen him a ton, and I'm not convinced Kluber's a guy I want my money on right now. Certainly not against Alex Fido, who is a local kid from Tampa getting to pitch in the majors at Tampa. And the Tigers are live. Tigers might be worth riding for a little bit here. Plus price first 5, plus price full game. There's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Teddy covers awesome stuff. Brother, as we spoke about, it's $9 Mondays. What do you got going?
I right now have a single best bet for Tuesday in the NBA playoffs. There's one
Nice.
MLB game that I'm interested in, and there's no line on it still. So I'm waiting. I pretty much talked myself out of everything else but that and the Tigers on my MLB card for today. So hopefully we'll see a lineup for the one game that's missing. Yeah, it's the White Sox and Royals for those who are wondering. And I may, if the line comes out where I hope it will, be involved in that ball.
Guys, starting today in the daily presidential address, we are changing the segment up now that the NHL is down to a very small amount of games per day. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting the rollover. So basically every day I'm going to start every week with $20. You can start with $2 or $200. It makes no difference to me. I'm going to give out only one play that I'm betting. I'm going to roll that play every day until Friday. $20 turns into just over $200 if we win all 5 plays, constantly rolling the money. We're going for a 10x. We start today. Get us 100 likes, and I will give out my first play in the rollover program. What's up, Theodore? You look like you want to say something.
Nothing. I was just saying that we got hard out at 9:45 because of the opening line report. We're going to announce
You were
what
saying
day
that
the
in your
NFL
head?
season. Yeah. At 10 o'clock.
In your head. Okay, Bryan Leonard, let's go, baby. How are you, man? You want to take shots at me over the Toronto Maple Leafs? Bring it on, man. I'm a big man.
Well, I was rooting for you, Prez. I didn't have anything in the series. I really wanted you to win. But I got to tell you, after losing your Game 7, you are a glutton for punishment to go see a Grateful Dead tribute band after that point. I don't know if I'd want to be waking up the next morning after that doubleheader.
Well, I had a triple header, actually. Bada boom! Bada boom! Okay, Bri, let's go. I've heard about you don't like the Grateful Dead. All good, no problem. Do you like the Colorado Rockies today?
I do like the Colorado Rockies today. Always like Colorado when they're at home. They're such a better team when they play at home. If you take a look at the records on the season, they're once again killing it at home. I would have liked to, a decade ago, just bet every Colorado Rockies game at home, bet against them on the road, and you'd have a pretty penny at this point. But we're looking at a situation with Alex Woods going on the road here against Colorado. Take a look at the schedule here for San Francisco so far this month. On the 3rd and the 4th, they play the Dodgers. Then they play the Cardinals. Then they play the Rockies, sweep the Rockies 3 straight games in San Francisco. Then they play the Cardinals. Now the Rockies are playing them again after being swept 3-0. And then on the schedule, they got the Padres and the Mets. So this is definitely a weak spot in the San Francisco schedule, and you've got a Colorado team looking to avenge a 3-game sweep. Antonio Sensatella is a guy who doesn't strike a lot of people out, so nobody ever wants to bet on him, especially in Colorado. So it's one of those situations for me where we get a little bit better number because of that. And Colorado's been very good against lefties all season long. They've got a 119, I believe, WRC plus. I'll be willing to take Colorado here in this spot against a San Francisco team who is likely to overlook them. And give me the home dog here at a nice price.
Well, is San Fran going to overlook them? They got shut out on Saturday and got embarrassed on national TV last night. And I don't know, are they a losing streak kind of team? We've seen them lose more than 2 in a row once this season. They did have a 5-game skid, but that's the only one that they've had. Do you think the Giants are the type of team that's going to have losing streaks this year?
Well, they started the month losing streak. They lose to the Nationals, lose to the Dodgers twice, lose to the Cardinals twice. So they've already lost 5 straight games this month. It'll happen. San Francisco is a really good team, excellent coach team, but you're going to have your ups and downs. And, if I'm a player on San Francisco, sure, I have lost back-to-back games to the Cardinals. But I think when I get to Colorado, I'm looking to pump up my batting stats. And that's usually when a team comes into this all excited to hit is when they struggle. And I like the Rockies in this situation.
Bryan Leonard, everyone. Brian, it's $9 Mondays. What do you got going for the clients?
At this point, I'm still working on the card. I want to put up something for the next few days in basketball and hockey, working on that. and still looking at my card for baseball. I want to check out some of the lineups since all games today are on the evening card. We got a little bit more time before I have to make any commitments. So that's what I'm looking at so far today.
Baumgartner versus Gonsolin. Big favorite for the Dodgers, minus 215, a total of 8.5. I was on the Dodgers yesterday with a client play.
Never in doubt.
Yeah.
Nice and easy.
Who we betting? How we betting this game, Bri?
Yeah, I'm going to take Arizona on the run line in this one. Take a look at what the schedule is. I just mentioned the San Francisco schedule. Look at the schedule for the LA Dodgers. They will be playing their 11th game in 10 days today, and they have a doubleheader tomorrow against Arizona. Just in the last week, they lost to the Pirates twice. They lost to the Phillies 3 times. They needed that big come from behind, game-winning victory last night. The Dodgers aren't playing well right now. There's no way I trust the Dodgers in this game at this price range. And you're looking at, I just got a message from Marco. The Golden Knights have just fired DeBauer. So they just got rid of their coach. A little bit of news here on this one. But we're looking at playing on Arizona here. Arizona is a team that's had a nice break earlier in the week, so they're playing like their 4th game in 4 days. It's a big differential here, and I'm looking to fade Tony Gonsolin here. Tony Gonsolin's a guy, you take a look at his numbers so far this season, they're unbelievable. His hard hit percent, 22.2. His X-slugging, 284. Looking for some regression, this is the guy to do it against. And the Dodgers have not been good so far this year against left-handed pitchers. I'll take the veteran Baumgartner here, and I'll take the plus 1.5 because the Arizona offense can struggle, and they did struggle earlier in the season. But we're looking at a total of 8.5 here. I will take the plus 1.5 at even money here with Arizona against the Dodgers team, who I just can't trust. Not at all. They're not playing well.
So, just real quick, Brian. I mean, Arizona they've played over their heads early on. And we're starting to see them come back to earth. They've lost 3 out of 4, just got beaten by the Cubs over the weekend. You really think this team's going to stand toe-to-toe with the Dodgers? Or is the plus 1.5 your little insurance policy there?
It's a little insurance policy, but you're saying Arizona's played over their heads. They've been an underperforming team all season long. I've done the baseball show in the past, and we talked about Arizona. And Arizona is a team that started off poorly, but if you look at the advanced stats, they're doing a lot better than that. Then they started getting on a winning streak. They got a winning record. This is a team I came into the season. They were one of the teams I picked to go over the season win total. I like this Arizona team. The only thing out of whack is Gallen's been very lucky from a starter standpoint. But this is a team right now in Arizona. I like this team. From hitting 1 through 9, I like this team. They've got a lot of depth. And the Dodgers are a team just right now. I'm not going to back the Dodgers in this price range. It's crazy.
Bryan Leonard, get out of here, brother. Thanks so much for coming on the show. We love having you, Teddy. Art DiCesare joining us. And are you ready? Are you ready to get some actionable info out of Art DiCesare?
I am.
Well, Daniel's son, where might Art be? Hey!
Hey,
What up, my brother?
what's up, fellas? How we doing this morning?
I'm in a great mood, man. I don't have to build my schedule around when the Leafs play anymore. I feel free. So yeah, I'm doing good. You?
Well, the Rangers won, so I feel good.
Oh, you're a Ranger fan. Teddy's not a fan of anything except misery.
I'm a fan of man.
He's a fan of that money.
Teddy's from Michigan, and he likes alliterations. If he was the owner of a team, it'd be the Michigan Misery. But he's not really actually from Michigan. He just went there. But I just want to keep saying
That's a line from The Devil's Advocate. It's an Al Pacino line from The Devil's Advocate.
It is?
Yeah. I'm a fan of man.
Wow.
That's it. Art. Let's do some actionable information for Prez and our listening audience. We'll start in the MLB card for today. How was the weekend over at the Westgate? Any big decisions for you guys? Winners or losers, baseball or otherwise?
It was just a really busy and fun weekend. A lot of obviously big playoff games, a lot of game sevens, a lot of people in the building. So that was really great. As far as the MLB goes today, just a couple of things. Not much has jumped out, but, we've seen some over money come in on the Astros Red Sox game. It was 8.5. It's now 9. So it's not like the total's gone up a full run. It's gone up half a run, now sitting at 9. Over money at -115 if you want to take the over. And then, we opened the Miami Marlins -210, now sitting -188. So almost a 25 cent move the other way. So you've seen some good national money come in early this morning. So people taking a chance on the dog with the Nationals against the Marlins.
Yeah, a lot of bettors wondering about that Red Sox Astros line as to why Boston's favored in that ball game. The Red Sox off another disheartening loss yesterday with a chance to sweep against Texas. Instead, they no-showed. Houston's been on fire. Any thoughts on why the Red Sox are chalk against the Astros?
I mean, they're a slight home favorite. I think that's probably got partly to do with it. Also, despite the Red Sox not being a good team so far this year, you still take Red Sox money. There's a lot of Red Sox fans. I understand maybe the sharper bettors stay away from them, but you're still going to get public money on the Red Sox because they are the Red Sox.
Really? So even at this stage where Boston's been consistent money losers, you're still taking more than average money on the Red Sox on a day in, day out basis from public bettors?
Yeah, and that's the thing, because it's the public bettors, right? There's just so many people, and I understand it's a Monday, it's not the weekend and people have come in yet, but you're still going to get the public bettors who are going to bet their teams like the Red Sox and the Cubs and maybe the teams who aren't the best teams so far during the year, but they still attract money because of the public name that they have and the fans that they have.
Let's shift focus to NBA for just a moment. I do want to ask you about your NFL season win totals, which I know came out in the last few days. But in the NBA, how'd you make out over the weekend at the Westgate? The Game 7s work in your favor or not so much? And talk about the early money for the 2 conference final series scheduled to begin this week.
Yeah, the NBA was okay. The one thing that we did have is we had a pretty big house player who fired pretty big on the Warriors on the money line. So, he was basically a 6-figure bet money line for the Warriors. So, that wasn't that great for us, but it's just something that you got to deal with here and there. As far as the series go, sticking with the Warriors, we had the Warriors -250 when we opened that series. It's now -220. So the Warriors, who should be favored in the series, people are looking to back Luka and looking to back that price. I did see something where the Mavericks are the 3rd team in 30 years in the NBA to be plus 200 or more in their first 2 series and advance to the conference finals. So what Dallas has done has been incredible. This is not something that you've seen a lot. Obviously, the Warriors have all the playoff pedigree. They have all the players who have been in these games, all the championships. And Dallas is Luka and a bunch of who's. Like who are these guys? So despite that, there has been Maverick money that has come in. And then the Celtic-Miami series. What a great series. I think that's going to be a real classic, real defensive type of struggle. Probably goes 7. We open the Celtics -170. It's creeped up just a little bit, -175. So a little bit of early money is coming on the Celtics. Celtics, who are favored in the series, though, are actually underdogs in game 1. We opened that -2. It's actually -1.5 now. So pretty interesting to see that the Heat are a slight home favorite in game 1.
Art DiCesare joining us, everybody. Art, quick couple of questions. One UFC question. Chip Plyer asks in the chat room, are we on Glover Teixeira? I can't pronounce Teixeira. Are you taking any action on Glover?
Glover Teixeira, to be honest with you, and I apologize to the viewer. I'm not the biggest UFC guy. I'm just when the UFC fights come up, like I'm able to sit in front of the computer and see the numbers and see where the money comes in, but I couldn't even name a guy in the UFC if I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's talk NHL. 4 series to go. We got the Battle of Alberta, super tight line. We've got Colorado against St. Louis, which is a big line. I think it was minus 400. Are you getting any series bets that we should know about?
So I think out of the 4, the one that has moved is the Battle of Florida. We opened the Panthers minus 150. We're now sitting minus 175. So Panther money has come in. And, say what you want about, these playoffs and everything. The NHL playoffs have been incredible. I think, Prez, I understand you're going to be upset that your team lost. I think that we get this Florida Tampa series is great. I think it's great for the NHL. President's Trophy winner against the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champs. I think it's great. It's going to be a classic series. But early money's come in there. You're right. Colorado minus 400. It's tough to think that you're going to get a lot of money there. Maybe some people will take a shot with the Blues, but nothing really to report on that so far. And both Carolina and Calgary are almost $2 favorites, both sitting at minus 185. Calgary is better than the Oilers. They probably should win the series. And then the other series, even though I love my Rangers, Carolina dominated them during the regular season. They really ran away with that Metro. Anytime the Rangers had a chance to play Carolina in a big game, they never came up, and they got to play a lot better than they did against the Penguins. I think Carolina actually rolls in that series. I could see Carolina winning in 5.
One last question for Arthur DiCesare before we let him go and enjoy his Monday. Of course, you can follow Art on Twitter at ArtDice21. You can visit him at the Westgate Race and Sportsbook, where he is a risk management supervisor. Art, talk to me about NFL win totals. I know that they came out. You're live with numbers. Where did the early money go? We know the early money of the NFL win totals, pretty sharp. What have you seen in terms of the first bets coming in on those numbers?
Yeah, they are. And this is a great time of the year, Teddy. When the schedule's released, we get those win totals up. I just think, you're going to start all the way at the top. Buffalo and Tampa both sitting at 11.5. Buffalo to the over, minus 130 if you want to take the over there. So, we have Buffalo basically listed as the best team in the league. Cowboys sitting at 10.5 always attract a lot of money, a lot of public money, but that 10.5, the under money was pretty nice early on for sharp bettors, sitting at minus 130 if you want to take the under there. So you always got to kind of throw the Cowboys in there because of the money they're going to attract. New England's an interesting one too. New England had a really great year last year, and a year I don't think a lot of people saw coming with Mac Jones. They didn't have the greatest draft in the world. The division got better. Miami got better. Obviously, Buffalo's maybe the best team in the league, and the Jets probably got better as well. New England's sitting at 8.5, but it is juiced to the over, minus 130 there. So I thought those were a couple of things that stood out to me. But I think as far as the early sharp money, good Cowboy under money has come in.
Art DiCesare, everyone. Art, thank you so much for joining us, brother. Anything quick to promote, talk about? We got 30 seconds.
All right, listen, gentlemen, as always, pleasure to be here. Love Monday mornings with you guys. And anything you need, you come down to the Westgate Superbook, you ask for Arthur DiCesare. I'll be more than happy to help you and, get you set up with whatever you need. Just come down and ask for me.
Awesome stuff. Art DiCesare, everyone. Guys, it's time. Let's go. Chat room. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for getting us 100 likes. The daily presidential address. Okay, well, let's start with a question from the chat room. I have a $500 free MLB bet. Would you make it a single bet or a 2-team bet? And that question is from Jennifer. Jennifer, I don't know what a 2-team bet is. I am assuming you mean a parlay. No, a single bet. And I'm going to give it to you right now. Guys, from here on in until the NHL season starts up again, we're going to be doing a daily presidential address with only one play. We're going to roll that play over every single day. So if you start with $20, then however much you win the next day, just keep betting it all the way through for 5 straight days. Today, we're taking a minus 160 favorite on the Toronto Blue Jays. So if you put down $20, you will get 32. Once we win that bet, we'll take that 32 and roll it tomorrow in tomorrow's play. So there you go. The Toronto Blue Jays minus 160. What an incredible show. I'm taking my daughter out for lunch. Teddy, take us home.
That's going to wrap it for the Monday edition of Wager Talk Today. I want to thank Marco, D'Angelo, Bryan Leonard, and Arthur DiCesare for joining us. I want to thank you out there in viewer and listener land for taking time out of your busy day to hang out with us here on Wager Talk TV. Look, stay tuned. Top of the hour. Myself and Drew Martin. I got pages and pages of notes on the NFL schedule. Stay tuned for the opening line report, 1 p.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. And, of course, we'll be back here on Wager Talk Today again tomorrow. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern time. Between now and then, enjoy the games and good luck.
Stop. Don't buy that picks package or all access. Wait, what? Yep. Don't click add to cart until you check out our new deals page at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo, where you can find all the latest offers, promotions, and coupons available all in one place. These deals are updated daily and can be found by clicking deals in the nav at WagerTalk or Sports Memo, going to wt.buzz/deals, or scanning the QR code on your screen.